Okay, so today let's finish the lesson we started yesterday over the lottery by Shirley Jackson. Let's talk about the lottery. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the story. Did it surprise you at the end?
Yes.
Yes.
It surprised me a lot. I never knew like they're gonna throw rocks. I expected like you're gonna like, get something.
Yeah, like
good
with
out of
something
it.
good.
Yeah, not
But
something
like
bad.
when we were throughout the reading the story, you could tell like they were all nervous and really like scared. So then I was like, okay, never mind. It's probably something bad.
All right. So let's go on here. Let's do some, as you see, I have up here symbolism exploration. What do we know about symbolism? Anaya?
It's basically the deeper meaning of something.
But what's the something?
Like could stand for something.
What's gonna stand for something?
Symbols.
What's the symbols?
Exploration. The theme, the main idea.
No, like what is a symbol?
What it represents.
Something that represents
What it
another
represents.
thing.
Yeah, an object that represents or has another meaning. That's symbols. So in the story, there was some symbolism, and we're gonna break that down today. Okay? So, first things first, let's do the lottery. Okay? Let's make that the right color. The lottery. What is it symbolizing? Why is it called the lottery? What does a lottery typically do?
Because it's something that you draw by chance.
And then what? What's the possibility?
And then
Possibility that you might win a certain amount of
money.
Yeah. So it's
Or
just
lose,
winning.
yeah.
Or lose. Or losing. Okay. But in this story, ooh,
It was a
it
little.
was a little
It was a
twist
loss,
to it.
yeah.
It was a little twist, right? Okay. So, what do you think it really meant? Since, for instance, we had the townspeople were just doing it because that's just what they were used to doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games.
Mm. So we have the people who are just doing the same thing over and over again, right? They don't really know why they're doing it at this point. Can we say that that might just be like they're going in blind, they're doing something blind,
Yeah.
and they're conforming to, say, what they feel is the norm?
Yeah.
But they also said a good lottery in June, a good harvest soon. So it's probably
A ritual.
Like they do like remember what it is kind of like, but they now believe that like for spiritual they have to sacrifice something.
But then again, they did say that the meaning was lost over time.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like they only remembered that to use stones. The stones might have been like coins, and they forgot that it was actually coins.
All right, so I put down the lottery we have. It suggests it's winning or losing, little twist, blind conformity, random cruelty. Those are basically what the lottery is symbolizing. Simply the fact that it's a blind conformity. We are going in blind. We are doing this because this is the norm that we're used to doing. We done forgot the meaning. We don't really know anymore. And it's random because you pull the names out, and then the cruelty part is basically that person gets stoned to death. Okay? Now let's go on to another item. And we'll do this one together. The stones. The stones that they use. What happens with the stones?
They get thrown on the person who draws the black dot.
They're thrown on the person who cooled. Okay. Why do they use stones? Why stones?
Maybe it was a tradition that was passed down, like they've always used stones.
Or maybe because like they remembered the coins, but they mistook the coins for the stones as the time passed, and they forgot more and more of the tradition.
Maybe they wanted suffer. They wanted like a really like colder. Maybe because they thought it would bring like a better harvest if it's more cool.
Or maybe because the stones, if there's no harvest, that means the floor is gonna be like rocky and full of stones. So maybe they fill the stones to like wish that away.
Who walked through the stones?
All the town.
The little boys.
No, it was the whole
The
town.
whole
The whole town just threw
So
it.
that's
Yeah.
why. Because everyone participates, even the children. That's why it's stones. Because at the beginning of the story, we kind of like, you think, oh, the little boys are getting stones. That's just what little boys do, right? Get a stone, throw it around, and all that kind of stuff, right? We don't realize they're getting the stones ready for the lottery, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the last one, you guys are gonna do this one, and then we're gonna discuss it. I'm gonna draw it, and maybe that'll help you. All right. This is the black box. All right, so those questions. What is it literally? What is the black box literally?
It's a box that contains the names of everybody.
Yeah. But what might it represent?
Tradition.
One on the board. You said cruelty.
Or culture,
I was gonna say.
tradition.
What did you say? Tradition.
I said tradition because they said the black box they had to change it because the town was growing bigger and bigger, so they probably used black boxes before that too.
It grew shabbier each year.
I think it's representing like how they carry on tradition, and as tradition goes on, it might get worse and weakened, especially said in the last paragraph. Although the villagers have forgotten the original black box, which the black box could be representing the original tradition.
What does black represent sometimes?
Like darkness.
Emptiness, nothingness.
I'm thinking of
Void.
Pandora's box, right?
Oh yeah, I know that too. You know, like the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
The
four.
four like
No.
No, we're not thinking that.
The Greek mythology.
Pandora.
Oh, the one that's one with that Zeus.
oh yeah,
Mamo,
that
I think so.
What about some evidence? We pulled some evidence already from the story.
Yeah, Yara said the box grew shabbier every year.
Anything else?
Yeah, I already
Yeah, you
said
already said
one.
that.
It was like although the villagers. Yeah, I already said that.
Although the villagers had forgotten the ritual and lost the original black box, they still remembered to
Eric
use
Because
it.
because it was originally wood. It was splintered badly along one side to show the original wood color, and in some places it faded or stayed. So it was originally like brown or light brown.
But they
the color of
probably
wood.
changed it to black because
Yeah.
it represents darkness and cruelty. Because what they're doing is cruel.
No,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna work on now is the central theme. What do you guys think the central theme
Oh.
is?
To open your eyes and don't trust people blindly.
Okay. Follow blindly. What's the central theme?
You can go.
Do not follow traditions without realizing the problems or inconsistencies
Or the meaning.
with the first, yeah. Because the town, they forgotten all the meaning, like they lost the original box, they forgotten the ritual, and they only remembered the cruelty, which was the stones.
Yeah, if someone wins, you're always gonna be trying to bring them down.
Think before you
Like
act.
no one's ever gonna, not everyone's gonna like you all the time. If you win, if you're smart, if you get a prize or something, they're always gonna be talking bad about you.
There's a discrimination.
Think
He was
before
so
you act.
smart and he got killed, right? And there's a
The other story, Red
Oh, yeah.
Examination. He was so smart and they killed him because he was
Yeah,
so smart.
because he was so smart for the
No,
system.
they had to go because they didn't follow the government regulations. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
because
it
he was
seems
so
like this-
smart.
No, it seems like the stones were always a part of this
Think before you
tradition.
act.
No, but the government, they did it as a tradition. Like his
didn't do
parents
as a
did it.
tradition. It's the
It was
new
a
code. That
tradition.
means that this is set in the future where there is a new code, and wherever smartness and regression, regression is valid over smartness. This is set in the future. However, this story is more set in the past, meaning that this is a tradition, and still we're always part of this tradition.
But it is kind of a tradition. like
'Cause
you
they-
said, because every kid that turns 12, they take
Yeah.
the test.
Their parents, his
It's
parents
a
did it.
It is-
But
it is
Talandra,
that-
his
it is
parents
that-
did it too. So his parents, so his grandparents probably did it as well. Because even though it's a new code and it's set in the future, traditions can
Because the
start at
parents
any
knew-
time.
The parents knew, they were scared.
Yeah.
They knew what was gonna happen.
Traditions can start at any year. It doesn't have to be old.
Isn't that a whole other story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're saying that
Yeah,
that
that's
one
an entire
was
different
still.
story. So within like an entire different one. I don't think it's like mainly based on tradition. But I do see your reasoning.
I think it's based on the government.
Yeah, but the government
Well, here's some
continued it.
things. We got blind conformity, mob mentality, scapegoating, tradition over reason. Those are some right there. Blind conformity just means you're following blind. You don't ask any questions, which you should always ask questions. You know, if a question crosses your mind, like, why? Okay, scapegoating. It's just putting it on to someone else. We've been doing this, so we keep on doing it, okay? So I'm gonna give y'all some historical context about this story, actually. So Jackson published the lottery in 1948, just after World War I and the World War II and the Holocaust. The story is widely read as commentary on mob mentality that enabled Nazi aristocracies, and how ordinary people participated in genocide by just following orders, the danger of unquestioned nationalism and conformity, how societies can rationalize terrible practices. Jackson herself said the story was about how easy it is for people to participate in a practice that is reprehensible.
Also in the story, how like the blind conformity theme is that Miss Adams says that some place of Ari Carlottes, and Old Man Warner says nothing but trouble in that. Says Sally, and it says pack of young fools, suggesting that anyone who doesn't do the lottery suggested them as like fools or something like that.
Yeah. So what we should be taking away from this story is that you should question traditions, even beloved ones. You know, if you feel like it's wrong, question it. Why are we doing this? Don't blindly follow the crowd in a term that y'all might understand, peer pressure. Don't succumb to peer pressure. Individual conscience matters more than conformity. Stand true to your own beliefs, okay? Also, ordinary people are capable of extraordinary cruelty when they stop thinking critically. So thinking is a big thing that goes over a lot of stuff we learn, how you learn, it rewires your brain. Thinking can make you smarter. Those are the type of things that you need to do, constantly thinking. So we're gonna end with that lesson, and you're gonna do a short response assessment, and the prompt is going to be this. In the lottery, Shirley Jackson shows how people can commit terrible acts when they follow tradition without questioning. Explain how Jackson develops this theme through character and symbolism. Use at least one piece of textual evidence. I'm going to put this on Google Classroom, upload it on there, and you will complete it there and turn it in. Then we will do another activity, and I'll put you in groups, and we'll do a one-pager analysis over particular themes or characters in the story, and I'll put you in groups and we'll complete that. So those are how we're going to complete this, and so let's get started with the assessment.